Welcome to Heart Speak Podcast, episode 128, Conscious Resonance. Well, hello everybody, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well today. I'm meeting a number of people who are feeling a little uncertain, to put it mildly. There's so much happening, and yet it's not happening, if you get my meaning. People are feeling that lockdowns are easing, the vaccines are coming in, more freedom, spring is coming into the northern hemisphere, but there's an uncertainty going on. And I relate that uncertainty to our own resonance, our own frequency. How are we feeling inside us? Because we are resonant beings. We are made up of different vibrations. Everything in our body has a frequency, whether it's our heartbeat, our brainwave patterns, the way our central nervous system works, the way our guts work, the way our breathing works. It's all about rhythm. And when we're out of rhythm, we call it, I feel out of balance, I'm in disharmony, I feel ungrounded, something not working as well. And that ability to be sensitive to our own frequencies is really important for us to listen to our body and listen to where's that disharmony occurring. And today I thought I really want to take that idea of resonance to many different levels. How do we resonate with other people? Because truly all our relationships are about resonance. We meet someone and we resonate with them, or we don't resonate with them. Or we're out in nature and we feel, wow, this is a place I can really feel at peace, or I resonate with that, the flow of that water, or that disturbs me. So I recognize that so often we don't understand or always acknowledge just how sensitive we are to different frequencies around us. And everything within the universe has a different frequency. It's been possible to actually hear the sounds of the planets, to be able to understand that the phases of the moon cause a resonance with us. Different phases cause us to feel different ways. And I want to take this into nature, you'll be pleased to know, and we're going to do it in a very natural way. But let me come right down to the very basics so that when we are born, we come into this world with what we think is a physical body, a physical existence, but it's already an energetic body, an energetic existence. And I know many of you relate to the idea of us having an aura, and an aura is made up of our physical body in its own etheric form, and then we have an astral body which has the emotions in it, and the mental body and the soul body and the universal body and the spirit body. And all of these bodies are, we could say, different octaves of who we are. Different, we have one frequency, but we meet ourselves at different octaves. And those different frequencies that are part of our aura will resonate with different people we meet, different experiences we have, different things in nature. And if, for instance, I'm feeling emotional, let's say I'm feeling happy, the likelihood is that when I go out to the shops, I'll meet someone who's also smiling and happy. I resonate with them and I'll say, oh, wasn't that nice? We smiled at each other. Oh, if we had our masks on, we looked at each other with our smiling eyes. But if I go out into the world and I'm feeling angry, I will tend to attract people who are also angry, and I have a resonance with them. I may not notice the happy people because in that moment, I'm actually looking for relationships that resonate with me. So the strange part of this is that we actually create our reality based on whatever frequencies we're putting out at the time. And that reality then becomes our known self, our aha, I knew the world was like that because I'm putting out an energy, my consciousness is going out into the world, and I am literally magnetically drawing towards me aspects in my so-called world that resonate with my truth. You understand that? So as I mentioned, it can just be an emotion coming from my astral body. Aha, I'm feeling happy, I meet happy people. Feeling sad, I meet sad people. But when it comes to our belief systems, we also will have, aha, I knew that was true because I saw it on the news, or I saw it on the internet, or I met people who had the same truth as I did. Now, that truth doesn't have to be a comfortable one. It may well be, wow, I knew the world was bad and they've just convinced me, resonated with my truth. And we can live our whole life like that. We can literally say, in this moment, I see that that's the way my world will continue based on, as I said, my emotional and my belief systems and my perceptions of reality. So that nobody can predict the future. All that can happen is that in the now, you or I can say, I believe this is how the world is going to end, or this is the way it's going to be until I die. And that will continue unless we see a different perception or we change how we choose to put energy into the world. So that if I believe, I don't know, that everybody's angry in the world, and I go out into the world with that belief, I literally am engaging with the resonant frequency out there in the world that has that same belief system. And with my anger, I am actually embodying and empowering that holographic vision. So the more energy we put into something, the more powerful it will be. And you've heard me speak about this is a holographic universe, and you've probably looked at me and went, oh, what is she on about? But really understanding that everything is possible in the world. There is no set in stone reality. Everything is possible. And if I put enough energy into something, it becomes real. So it goes from just a thought to a liquid crystal form, to a solid crystal form, to what we call reality. And when I breathe that belief back in and I say, I don't believe that anymore, it literally starts to become a crystalline form, a liquid crystal form, and it disappears. All right. Now you might say, no, it's real. Okay, whatever you want to believe. But I've given many examples in the past of times where I have literally said, I'm going to believe something different, and the result is different. And if I apologize that I'm going to repeat this little story, but there was the story when I lost some luggage and I was very angry about it. And I went to the counter where they were going to find my baggage, and I was angry. And the woman reacted in a certain way, and she said, what's your problem? And I said, you've lost my luggage. And I saw what was happening, because the dynamic was she was almost coming to the point where she said, well, it's not my fault, because she was feeling, she was defending herself against my attack. So I literally turned around, went out the swing doors, came back immediately, 1 second later, through the same swing door, same me, same her. And I said, can you help me? I've lost my luggage. And she said, oh yeah, how can I help you? And I knew just by changing my frequency, changing my way I approached her, I got a different result. And I really encourage you, if you've never done anything like that yourself, try it out. The way you may approach someone, as I say, in the shop, in the street, at the school, where you go to work, just saying, I have a choice how I wish to approach this situation, what frequency I wish to put out into the world. When we change our frequency, and this is often based on our emotions and our physicality, how I walk in that room, rather than having my shoulders up around my neck and screaming, lowering, breathing out, changing the way in which I wish to walk into that room. This literally changes the environment that I meet. So if you're not happy with what's going on, then recognize that you can change the way in which you meet the world. Now, why I'm saying that is, we all see ourselves as a beautiful, multifaceted diamond. And all those facets potentially are us. We could call them parallel lives. But at this moment, I might just be fixated on one facet. When are these lockdowns going to end? When am I going to get out? When am I going to be able to travel? That's the one facet of, let's say, even we just call it 100 facets that I may have available to me. But when we only look through one facet, and this goes on from what we were doing last week, it means everything I meet will have that same frequency. So I just keep, reinforcing what I believe through that one facet. And what I keep doing is just meeting people, as I say, who resonate with me on that same facet. But perhaps something happens that allows us to see another facet. And it's so interesting how that happens, because it's not happening on the belief system level. It's not happening on the emotional level. It happens on that soul level. So you might be feeling a certain way, and then you see a rainbow, or someone calls you out of the blue and you thought, wow, I haven't not thought of that person for a long while. And what happens is it's your soul, which is a much deeper level of your aura, is saying, I want you to express yourself through this new facet. And so for that moment, I'm watching the rainbow, or I'm speaking to this friend, and I'm going, wow, I forgot that energy we used to have when we used to talk together. And a new facet of mine is coming open. A new part of my hologram is appearing. But if I'm not careful, I go back to that old one. Yes? It's like, okay, that was just a moment. Now I'll stop that conversation. I go back. But once we've been distracted enough by this facet that is waiting for us, this new frequency, we can't always switch it off. So we might go back home and we say to our partner, wow, do you know who just called me? And it's as if we've just eaten new food. It's as if we've just absorbed new energy, because we'd forgotten that feeling existed within us. And so we open ourselves up, and maybe it may not be that we let go of that one facet, that one belief, but something else is opened, or maybe it's changed the way we wish to approach this one belief, this one facet. We may be seeing it in a slightly different way. And so what's happening at this time, you might feel that nothing's happening, but I can tell you so much is happening. You remember we talked about how last year we were going through this reawakening of ourselves. We were waking up to our star beingness. We were waking up to who we are. And that waking up is what I'm talking about. We were opening more facets. We opened more petals, as I often talk about. And we were seeing our world in a different way. And when that happens, it's as if we no longer feel comfortable in the old paradigm that we were living, the one view that we all had. So there may be a lot of disharmony going on at the moment, and there is. A lot of people, they may not be necessarily going out on the streets and with revolutions, but you're like, that's not what I believe, or this isn't how I am, and it makes us feel uncomfortable. So rather than trying to say the world out there is the problem, recognize that it's actually about we're changing. It's not that we're saying, I don't believe this or that. It's not about a paradigm shift as how in the outer world, it's how we're relating to that outer world. And what's more important, the dissatisfaction we're having is more like, I don't want to see that world in that view anymore. I don't want to relate to that world in our world in that way anymore. And I mentioned a few sessions ago that we're actually the manifestation of Gaia's dreams. We are part of the dream of our world, our planet. So if we're just part of her dream, we also have the choice to change which dream of hers do we wish to live in. Now, this isn't about wishful thinking or hoping things are better or affirmations. This isn't that. It's like, because that's just in our head, or even meditating out of our body, or having a fantasy world where we say, oh, well, somewhere there's a really good world because at the moment it isn't how I feel. That's not going to change anything. You see, when we're doing something just to avoid something, all we're doing is dragging what we're trying to avoid with us. So I'm just going to think positive. What you're really telling me is, because frankly, I feel very negative. Or I'm going to put a smile on my face because frankly, I feel very depressed. And it doesn't work that way. So just wishing something to happen, or oh, if we all believe the same thing, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen because there isn't an out there to change. The only thing that we have is our own consciousness in this moment. And if what you're perceiving you have created in your environment and you are resonating with it, the only person that can change that is us. So we can have a choice. It may not be that it's a choice to say, as I mentioned last week, do I have the vaccine? Do I wear a mask? The key to it is what's behind that? What's the belief? Do I feel I am out of control? Do I feel I have no power? That I have to do what other people say? It's not the vaccine that's causing the problem greatly. It's much more about how I feel about it. How do I feel about being told what to do? How do I feel about trusting other people? How do I feel about a virus could kill me? As I've mentioned before, it's that resonance, it's that frequency, it's that thought with the frequency within it that is causing my world to be appearing in a certain way. So how do we resonate with what we want? So what I'm going to suggest is that we do a mini meditation within this podcast. And what I'm wanting just to take you into a place where you know what it feels like to resonate with something that's very peaceful and beautiful. So if you could just for a moment, if you're in a safe place to do this, to be able to close your eyes, breathe out. Again, take a short breath and just breathe out. I know I've been talking a lot, but we're going to resonate with ourselves. Just to come into our bodies. Feel your breathing become slower or settled. Feel your shoulders relaxing, your body relaxing. Take yourself into your heart chakra. And in your heart chakra, feel connecting to the deepest part of your heart, the steadiness of your heart. Just doing the job it needs to do in a perfect, balanced way. Now, through your heart, take yourself to a place in nature that resonates with you. For some of you, it might be by water, some might be within around trees, some might be in mountains, maybe a place you know of, just place in your dreams. We're going to resonate with this place. So wherever you are, feel the ground under your feet, the wind or the sun on your body. And just feel how your body feels in balance, in resonance with this perfect environment for you. A place that brings you peace and balance. Now hear the sounds. Again, it may just be sounds. The wind is bringing those sounds to you in perfect harmony. What are the sounds that bring you into harmony? Birds, the water, the wind in the trees. Smell the air. Just the perfect perfume, the perfect aroma allows you to relax and be in balance. Just look around you with the colors around you. Just the absolute perfect colors that calm your body, bring you into a place of harmony. You know, your body knows what it needs, the perfect blue sky, the perfect greenery, or the color of the water, or the color of birds. Your body knows what it needs. You may even see shapes of plants and flowers, shapes of animals. Just that sense of when those shapes are in my environment, everything calms down. This is not a place of falling asleep. It's a place of what we call homeostasis, a place of balance, a place of perfect resonance. Your aura can open in this place. You feel your whole body just relaxing, and you feel your aura relaxing and expanding. And as your aura expands, you may even notice in this very nature place little sparks of light, little orbs. You may hear whispers. Because when you're in this beautiful place within your being, your soul can open out and resonate now with light beings that live in the interdimensional spaces, the elves, the fairies, the little sprites. Don't make it happen, just let it happen. You're resonating, your frequency has changed. Now you're in this space, so you can resonate with beings of light you might not have noticed before. Now you might notice that the sounds you originally heard have changed their frequency because you're changing. You may actually feel the sun not just as warmth, you may feel the energy of the sun in a different way. And you may feel the ground under your feet in a very different way. Almost you can feel everything that lives beneath your feet relating to you now through your feet. Now, placing your hand, or a hand, on your heart chakra, you're anchoring in that beautiful feeling that you're having, a way in which you want to relate, where you both find a place of stillness, rest, but also expansion. And with that, please to bring yourself gently back to the room where you are. And with your own time to open your eyes. And I offer that meditation as a way to go through the world in this next week. Take time, if you can, to go into nature itself. You can do it just through the visual imagery as we've done. But wherever you can and whenever you can, take yourself out into nature. And if you have a choice, allow yourself to walk a little bit and come across a tree, a rock, water, and allow your body, as we've just done, to resonate. It may be that you don't want to be by a certain tree or a certain rock, but you find that there's one that you really resonate with. If you do, then sit on it or lean against it, ask permission first. But see how your own aura, your own resonance changes as you relate to different aspects in nature. Some will be lively, some will be calming, some will be whatever you're feeling you're needing. But I want you just to become more familiar with the fact that you have a choice how you want to resonate, and that every day your body is resonating, your aura is resonating. And when you're realizing that's not the resonance of what I want anymore, that's not the frequency I want to put out, you can make a choice to change. So find that place where you know you like being. And then you can make a choice to say, I need a little bit more excitement, I need a little bit more calming. But now you're making the choice based on how you feel at this level. So with that in mind, I send many blessings, and I hope you enjoy relating to the resonance within you and resonating in a whole new way. Bye-bye now.
Thanks for listening to the HeartSpeak podcast with Dr. Christine Page. Please check out all HeartSpeak episodes in the podcast archive section on www.christinepage.com. HeartSpeak is also available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Sticher Radio, and now playing on iHeart Radio. You can also watch the archive podcasts on YouTube. Connect with Christine on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, including her newest Facebook group, The Great Mother Calling. Do share with family, friends, colleagues. Join us next time for another edition of HeartSpeak.